To follow in the footsteps of a universally acclaimed game can sometimes seem like a seemingly impossible task. You have to be just the right amount of original without stepping on the toes of the developers that came before you. Many have tried to reach the success of supergiant games as 2020 god-slaying roguelike adventure Hades, but few have created a game worthy to stand besides it. Enter Netherworld Covenant, an up-and-coming early access game developed by a team of two that surprised me with the simplicity of its premise and the fluidity of its combat. Welcome to the tainted, demon-infested abyss of this city's name that I'm about to butcher, but you're going to hear it anyway. Langreg. Langreg. Yeah, close enough. So when we talk about the story of Netherworld Covenant is one that is rooted in a simple concept that really lends to the depressing world the developers have created. You are the nameless sole survivor of a group of warriors seeking the Nether Lantern. At the beginning of the game, you find yourself among the bodies of the dead, with only a mysterious figure known as the Black Knight to drive you towards your fate of claiming the lantern and stopping the demons from taking over the land of Langrig forever. The lantern not only allows your character to bridge the gap between the mortal realm and the netherworld, but it also allows you to cleanse the corrupted souls of your allies that were slain in the beginning of the game. The premise is as simple as any demon slaying adventure, but I will fully admit that it is the perfect amount of motivation needed to push you towards your goal as you cut your way through hordes of demons and undead alike. This journey is one firmly engrossed in the idea of chasing salvation when all hope seems lost, and developers do a good job at giving the player just the right amount of external motivation to make what you're doing seem like a journey of redemption in the face of impossible odds. The world of Langreg is filled to the brim in the way a usual roguelike would be, and it's depressingly simple in the way that it complements the overall tone of the story. At the start of every run, you spawn in at the Borderland camp, an area between the Netherworld and the mortal realm that allows you to gather your ghostly allies, forge a huge variety of weapons that can be found throughout your journey, as well as other facets that I don't want to ruin. As with most isometric roguelikes, this is your hub where you can prepare for the run ahead in any way you want. From that point on, you only have one option. Pick your difficulty and head into the first dungeon. Anyone that is familiar with this genre knows what awaits us past those double doors. You are thrown into the first arena, a dungeon filled with undead warriors and the ghosts of the fallen. And from that point on, you are free to take the path as you want as you carve your way towards your end goal of cleansing the land of the demon's blight. The variety of areas and the bosses that call it home are a delicate mix of demonic looking amalgamations and twisted humans like enemies. They will both offer a challenge and sell you the pressing world that Langrick has become. Though the areas might not be the prettiest and most flashy looking pixels put to your screens, I can't see a world where anyone is going to complain. I was getting a constant 100 plus FPS in every area I visited, even when there's a ton of stuff going on, and I didn't have any issues with the game from a performance perspective. This is, after all, an early access game, and if this is their baseline, I really honestly can't wait to see what the future awaits as far as their more creative side of it, because let's be really honest, as we were about to talk about the gameplay is amazing. From a gameplay perspective, I think many fans of the isometric roguelike genre are in for a treat. The combat system isn't one that relies on the flashiness of what some of us have come to expect. It rather relies on a few simple aspects that make it shine in a way that make you feel like the Grandmaster of a sword, not someone just spamming inputs to progress through the dozens of areas between you and the bosses of each end zone. Precision is the name of the game, and you will have to use all the tools at your disposal, from the very unique and satisfying soul companions, which function as allies with skills related to what class they fall under, to the variety of different weapons and artifacts that you can equip that give you passive buffs and other bonuses. The gameplay systems you can feel a little alien at first, but within 30 minutes or so I was pulling off perfect dodges and parries without much of a fuss. The game shines on its simplicity, and I feel like most people will find a home in the vast number of options available for you in your armory. From an actual gameplay perspective, it plays like a standard roguelike in that you are fighting your way from room to room, trying to buff your character as much as possible. This can be aspects as simple as giving your melee weapons an on-hit bleed or fire aspect, to ones as complex as buffing your armor to possibly cast a counterattack anytime you get hit. And the thing about it is, you're almost always going to be on the defensive. The enemy types from the first dungeon onwards till pretty much the last, as far as I got, have a certain aspect of aggressiveness that really makes you so you have to be ready at all times. Within the first 30 minutes, you'll be fighting groups of enemies with a healthy mix of basic melee soldiers, ranged casters from archers to undead mages, and fast-moving ghouls whose only goal in life is to end your run early. Now, what makes this all manageable is the smoothness of the dodge roll and getting you and your character out of danger, and the usefulness of the ethereal dodge to reposition yourself in ways that get you closer to the fight or as far away as possible. Pair this whole system with a larger than life boss battles that will have you standing on your heels, and I really think Netherworld Covenant is an absolute gem from a gameplay perspective. It plays as smooth as butter and excels in the basics to give you, the player, really a diverse host of options to slay the demon standing between you and your fate. Now, for my closing thoughts, Netherworld Covenant is honestly a game that seeks to impress you. It excels at building a grim world filled to the brim with a diverse roster of bosses and enemies, while also having a gameplay loop that is so painfully fun to use that I can't help but give the developers praise for it. It's just unique enough to stand out, while also feeling like it belongs with the other titans in the genre. Even in early access, it shines in ways that some have failed to achieve after full release, and I cannot see a world where most fans of the isometric roguelike genre won't be fully engrossed by what Madgoat has achieved here. I wholly recommend this game to any fans of the genre, and honestly, this game is a solid 8 out of 10 in its current state, maybe a little bit less if you're a little more picky on the things that make it an early access game. Overall, it's just a really fun game. Really enjoyed my time with it. Thank Madgoat, of course, for getting me an early release copy, and the Gamer Social Club for actually supplying me with it. If you are more interested in reading the tech side of my reviews, you can go over to Gamer Social Club. And if not, well, as always, I hope you'll have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your month, a good rest of your year, and I will see y'all on the next video.